Ah, the theme park. There's so many different rides. I mean, some of them drop you down, some of them roll you over, some of them flip you upside down, and others spin you around. But the obvious king of all these rides, hands down, has to be the roller coaster. But that really begs the question, out of all these rides, which ones even count as roller coasters? Well, as a self-proclaimed roller coaster enthusiast, I intend to answer this question today. What's a coaster enthusiast, you ask? Well, it's somebody who gets to wait in line all over the world. The first question we have to ask is, well, who even cares what counts as a roller coaster or not? Well, coaster enthusiasts like to compare their coaster counts, which are basically numbers that determine how big of versions they are. Every single time you ride a new coaster, you get a new credit, and the more credits you have, the least likely you'll ever have sex. All coaster enthusiasts strive to be at the virgin level of Rob Alvey, who has like 1 billion credits and has never touched a woman in his entire life. Now, this question seems pretty simple on the surface, but there's really no clear definition for what counts as a roller coaster and what doesn't. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines a roller coaster as an elevated railway, as in an amusement park, constructed with sharp curves and steep inclines on which cars roll. Which is a completely vague and bullshit definition. I mean, does this count as a roller coaster? Does this not count as a roller coaster? In reality, it's much easier to define what isn't a roller coaster than what is one. So I've devised a simple 4-part question that will help you determine what you're looking at is a roller coaster or not a roller coaster. Now for this, you can use any object in the world. When you're looking at it, just ask yourself these 4 questions. Can you ride in it? Is it on a track? Does it have wheels? And lastly, is it at some point powered by gravity and gravity alone? If you answered no to any of these questions, then the object you're looking at is not a roller coaster. Now, if you've answered yes to all your questions, we're still not done yet. Now, the ride you have might seem like a roller coaster, look like a roller coaster, smell like a roller coaster, might even taste like a roller coaster. But that doesn't mean that it's a roller coaster. For these special caveats, we're gonna have to go to the experts to get the real answer. In the criminal justice system, roller coaster-based offenses are considered especially heinous. On the internet, these dedicated nerds who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squadron known as the Coaster Court. First ride to the stand. Is this a roller coaster? No! Even though it might seem like a coaster, Larson loops are not coasters. They don't sit on a track. They're actually like glued to the track and like spin around. It's hard to complain. Just accept the fact that they're not. Because if you don't and you say that they are, every enthusiast within earshot will give you a lecture on how they're not roller coasters for the next 45 minutes. And I've been in that conversation before. You don't want to have it. Larson loops are very similar and compared to their cousins, the powered rides, or as I like to call them, the power bottoms. Powered rides are any rides that you're constantly powered by something else besides gravity, like tires or magnets or an engine, like a fucking train. And although they might seem like coasters, they don't count as credits. Next coaster to judge! What about this one? Does this one count? No, these rides don't count because their wheels leave the track at some point. I mean, actually, Shoot the Rapids is a great example of this because its wheels leave the track when it's going through the river section, and also when it's doing its first inversion. Next ride. Okay then, why do these not count? So this has less to do with the fact of what is and isn't a roller coaster, and more of the fact of what counts as playground equipment and what counts as an amusement park ride. A guest on an amusement park ride has very little to no control over what they're doing. After you take your seat, the experience is dictated by the ride itself and a bunch of sleep-deprived teenagers who are pressing buttons. The coaster itself is the dominatrix, and you're her little gimp boy that will do whatever she says. When you get on, when you get off, how fast you'll go, what the safe word is. You're her little bitch until you hear, "Welcome back, riders, how was your ride?" Next ride to the stand. What about this ride? It seems to fit all the criteria. I mean, it's on a track, drops down through gravity, it's got wheels, everything seems to be okay here. Demon Drop isn't a ride because... reasons I'm still not 100% clear on. To be honest, I really can't find a good way to describe why it's not a roller coaster besides the fact that we all just agree that it's not. It just kinda looks more like a drop tower. It's kinda like how a tomato is a fruit. Yeah, by definition it's a fruit, but if you put a tomato in your fruit salad, everyone's gonna think you're a fucking maniac. So yeah, you can put Demon Drop in your coaster credits, but everyone's gonna look down on you for it. Okay. I think I got you now. So this is obviously not a coaster, right? Right? No. There's no way that this... Yeah, bobsleds count. Why? I don't know. Because by every definition, they really shouldn't. Everything that I've gone through really counteracts everything that a bobsled is. I mean, it's not on a track. For some of them, not all of their wheels are touching the ground at the same time. And a third example that I'll think of later. I mean, if you really think about it, you can just glue a chair to some wheels, strap yourself into it, and throw yourself down a water slide. And you'd get the same exact experience, and it would probably be less painful than riding an aero looper. I know, I've done this. That's why my unofficial coaster count is over 3,000. I've been trying to get coaster count to get these credits recognized officially, but they've stopped responding to my emails. I really don't know why. And that's about it for the special cases. I mean, there might be some others that I'm missing, but let's be honest, no matter what roller coaster you show, there's somebody out there that argues that it's not a roller coaster. And I've asked my coaster community about some of these questions, and a lot of the time it usually just boils down to, I didn't put this coaster on my list because of these very minute little reasons. You go ahead and put it in your list if you want to, but I'm not going to put it in mine. It is reserved for the most elite credits out there. No, you must excuse me. Those kiddie coasters aren't going to ride themselves, you know. Oh! Congratulations, now you know the definition of a roller coaster is absolutely bullshit. Tune in next week where I'll talk about how you're a dipshit to believe that Cedar Point would ever tear down Magnum to build a 500-foot B&M Hyper. I mean, it gets so many, it's one of the top rides in the park. It gets so much capacity, it's very low maintenance, it's brought to...